Hello, 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 my
Hello,
glamorous
hello.
girls. Hello,
Hello.
hello, 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 my glamorous girls. Woo! Hello, 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 my glamorous girls. One more time. Hello, 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 my glamorous girls.
Hey, my sisters.
My
Hey,
sisters.
Hello.
hey, long time no see.
I know, right?
Literally,
To all of our
literally.
audience, long time no see us.
Yeah, look, they should be used to us by now, ladies. I mean,
I
you know,
know.
we
It's
all over the
summertime.
place.
It's
Summertime,
I say
summertime,
it's
summertime.
summertime, and
Yeah,
we just
blame
have
it on the
fever,
rain. Blame
and
it on
we
No, blame it on the
blame it on the
heat.
sunshine.
blame it on the
Yes.
Blame it
sunshine.
The
on
heat.
the
Yeah.
The
heat.
heat, my sisters, the heat.
It has
Mm.
been, but I always say I'll take it long as I rise and open my eyes.
Me too.
Hello?
Woo!
Hey, I rise
Come
and
on,
open my
somebody.
eyes. Hey, I
Come
take
on,
it.
somebody.
I'll
Long
take
as
it.
I rise and open my
Yes.
eyes.
I take that. Thank
So
you.
how
Thank
y'all
you,
doing? Because
God.
we got a packed show. This is our education segment. This is Charlene's Day. Everybody had a wonderful past weekend. I know I did. I know
Oh,
you guys had a ball. We're gonna talk about it today. We got some sisters coming on here to just do some reflections and look back on some things. I think we got our father, our godfather, our own and honorable Dr. George Frazier's coming on. It's so much going on in this PNC and the Four Sisters Live and Sister for Sisters Network. Woo! It is so wonderful that we can share so many awesome things in the midst of crazy stuff going on.
yeah.
Thank you
In the
very
midst of
much.
crazy. In the midst of the crazy going on, guys, we still have to keep our eyes on the prize. We got to keep moving, Charlene.
Yeah.
We
Yeah.
got to go. We just got to do what
We
we
got
got
to
to
keep
do.
going. We got to keep moving. And we just, yeah. But we first got to introduce ourselves because I am
Yes.
Charlene.
On Wyoming,
I'm Peg.
And I'm Linda.
and
And
we
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 are
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 four
4SistersLIVE.
sisters.
Live.
Thank you for that, Charlene,
Yeah,
because I
well,
forgot.
I know, but sometimes the people out there don't know who we are. We're inviting new people into our audience, so sometimes we forget. We remind each other, so that's who we are. So this week is education segment, and boy, do we have a lineup for you! Woo,
Yes.
Lord, we are going to educate you. You're going to have fun. We're going to give you an opportunity to jump in and talk with us and hear some experiences that we had this past week at the PNC experience with
Yes.
Dr. George Frazier and us, the family. So we had the pleasure to go there. So I'm excited to see what was going on with all of us. You know, all of us ladies, because all three of us went. We missed Wyoming.
Wyoming,
Yes.
yes.
Wyoming was holding it
Mr.
down.
Wyoming.
Yeah,
But
I
Wyoming
was,
was holding it
I
it
down
was
was
for
a
so
her.
family
much.
affair for
Yeah, I had
sure.
my own PNC family Power Network and family reunion.
Yes, yes. It's
How was
nothing
it?
like
How was
family.
it? How was it, Wyoming? How's your family doing?
It was awesome. We had a successful turnout, successful time, fun time with family all over the country that flew in to be with us. And the planning, you already know if you're planning anything, because a family reunion or conference, it's a lot of work.
It's a lot of work.
And then
It's
when
Yeah.
people come out, you see the fruits of your labor.
Yes.
exactly.
And it
Yeah.
turned out very well. So thank God for asking. Had a lot of fun. It's nothing like family picnicking and banquets and singing and going out. We went to the African American Museum downtown. Took the family who never had seen it. That was
Oh,
an experience.
Wow.
That was
yes, yes.
beautiful.
That's
So that
like
was
the
good.
Black White House, isn't it? You know, when family come to
They
China,
right.
DC. That's family White
Well,
House for us.
well, I don't know about
Well, it
All
will
right,
be
we're
if
gonna put
you
some
do
Charlene.
more, we're
both.
gonna put some more furnishings in it. I have to go. I haven't been in 3 years, 2 or 3 years, couple of years now. So I need to go back and see the upgrade of our family reunion house. Then we need to check it out some more. So I think
They,
we need to go. I think we need to go, y'all.
I
Hey,
know.
Why?
Linda, let me share this with you. We have a
Yeah.
sister in the organization that works there. So whenever we want to go on tour, just let's have a
Okay.
conversation.
Well,
Let's
and we have my husband's brother who is actually the head man there, but I can't tell you what part of the head man there. So we got this, ladies.
Oh, we
We
got
got
to
our
hook
people
it
in
up.
the house.
Okay. All right, ladies. So how did you enjoy it this time?
This time, as far as
you visiting the museum?
Well, I'll be honest with you all. I did not attend with them
Oh.
because I was busy doing some family things to prepare for
Behind
when
the
I got
scenes
back.
stuff.
Yes,
Yeah.
behind the scene things.
Yeah, I
And I've been like twice. You know what
I
I mean?
have too, but we do have to get together and see the
If we
upgrade.
can go, definitely. I want to go again, but I had to stay back because, again, trying to
I
prepare the
understand.
family when they returned. I
Because
was
you were
part
the
of the
host with
committee,
the most.
right?
You
And I
were
was
the
part of
host.
the committee, so I had to do
Yeah.
some things. So there
I
you have it.
totally
No, Wyoming was the committee member. Oh, I wouldn't have guessed.
I was the committee member and the,
Yeah.
the entertainer for the day. So
Oh,
I
that's
was
so
doing many
cool.
roles. I played many roles, but
Yeah.
it was all good. It's for the
That's
family.
beautiful.
And in the honor of my nephew, as you all know the history of the story of
yeah.
that, it was his legacy, and he wanted the family hosted here, and all fun was had by all in his honor. And that's how I'll say that. So thank you, God,
Beautiful.
for honoring him to honor us. And it's nothing like family. And let me say this, and we can move on. There are a lot of families who do not have family reunions.
That's true.
That is so true. That's
They
so
don't.
true.
And
They
a few
don't.
people that came as visitors, they said, wow, this is awesome. How long have you all been doing? I said, over 25 years.
Ooh.
Wow.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So it's
Yeah.
something that to be said to that we take time out from years ago to honor our family, bring them together, and just because you don't know who your families are until you come together.
Yeah.
And my
Yeah.
sister said, look, y'all need to know who y'all family because y'all don't want to date your relative.
No, that could happen,
This,
and you don't
this
want
next
that.
generation, they gotta know.
They
They
got
got
to
to
know.
know.
They're gonna be dating their
Yeah.
cousins. They're gonna be dating their cousins.
Yeah.
Why your baby got a big head? Oh. Anyway.
That looks familiar.
He look familiar. He look like your Uncle Johnny. Yeah. Okay.
Y'all are silly.
Hey,
That's what
Darling,
I
you
mean.
should stop. You should
Okay,
stop.
that's
it, though.
fine. Peggy, I'm gonna turn around. Peggy, what's been going on in your world this week?
You said it for me, honey. I'm done. Oh my God.
Linda, what's going on in your world, girl? Bless you.
Ooh, excuse me.
Linda.
Did
What's
you call
going
my
on?
name?
Yes.
Yeah, say what's
I'm
going on
sorry.
in your world?
I'm sorry, a sneeze just came through. Well, in my world, my goodness, I'm just staying cool, just surviving after our wonderful week at the PNC, and just taking, get back to the stuff you got to do here at home.
Back to normal. Yes.
Back to normal. This week has been one of those weeks that I'm just catching up. And, I'm dealing with my little plants. And, I told you I got a little garden on my front porch.
Wow.
I've been dealing with my cucumbers and my tomatoes and peppers that's going to come in soon. Just learning all about the culture.
Beautiful, Linda.
Yeah.
It's so good.
Just doing some new things in my life. Just something more than, getting up in the morning, getting that exercise in Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. I'm feeling better and better every single day.
Well, you're looking
Beautiful.
good, sis.
I'm
Thank
telling
you.
you, it's
So
gorgeous.
good.
I'm
Yay.
feeling good, y'all.
Oh, yay. That is so good. Well, good. Well, we're happy for you, Linda. But,
Thank you.
again, everything I can talk about is definitely going to be towards the PNC. So we're going to do that for the rest of the hour. So, yeah, that has been my week. Okay. I am still trying to come down off of that. But
Yes.
so amazing contacts that have been in touch with me, and I've been in touch with them.
Yes.
And my goal this year is to really just follow up and, pay attention to those connections and know that they're not in vain. So, yeah, so that's what I did all week long, just follow up and make sure that I pursued those. But with that being said, I think we have some birthdays.
Yeah, before we do move on, and I'm sure we definitely have some things to cover, but we definitely want to acknowledge a great loss. One of our
Yeah.
that has passed on, and someone who
yeah.
admired so much. This was my girl.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's our
And
girl.
I really my heart dropped when I, learned of her passing. And this is something that we didn't know, but she announced it in June, I believe. But she had pancreatic cancer, but she succumbed it, and this just did not. I guess people didn't know, probably those who did, but we as a community are really going to miss her because she was the voice,
yes,
of so many of our Black community, our women as well. And so we salute her. We salute her for the many, many years she served as Congresswoman Miss Sheila Jackson Lee. We're gonna miss you, but the legacy moves on. Your living and your everything you've done will not be in vain. Will not be in vain.
Absolutely. Absolutely. And
Yes.
yeah, as a representative of Houston, yeah, community, we do send our love out to them as well, because that is a great loss.
Great loss. And
Mhm.
prayers to the family. And I know our sister Jasmine Crockett is going to pick the torch up and keep it moving.
Yes,
Yay,
Got it
Jasmine
going on.
Crockett.
Yes.
and you have Maxine Waters as well. Okay, we
Yes,
got
Oh,
prayers.
oh,
Yes,
yes,
prayers.
oh my God. Oh, she has so much to say. But anyway, that's a whole nother broadcast. I can't wait to
absolutely.
share some of the things she's been saying after, these conferences. So anyway, but I guess we have some birthdays, and we do want to acknowledge those birthdays in our community. So happy birthday to all
We're
of you out
celebrating
there
a birthday.
in
Come on,
July.
somebody. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Somebody tell us.
Well, we have one birthday in the month of July, and that's Dr. Why should I say doctor? Well, she can be a doctor.
Reverend, I know.
Reverend Delegate Jamila Woods.
Yay!
Yay!
In July. Yeah.
Yes, she'll be
You
joining
guys
us shortly
are
as
hot
well.
man.
And
Yes.
we also have our one congressional or our historic. We have Congressman Jim Clyburn. He
Oh,
was
really?
born. Yeah, he was born on July the 21st. So his birthday is
yeah.
tomorrow. And he was born, and he's the House Majority Whip, former House Majority Whip. And he
Yes.
was born on July the 21st, 1940. So
Okay,
happy
still young.
birthday, Chuck. Yes.
Still young. Yay.
Still young. Happy birthday.
Good. And still making things happen in South Carolina. Yeah.
Yes.
Absolutely.
Absolutely. So we're looking forward to hearing more from him during
Of
this
course.
Democratic convention.
Oh,
Yeah.
yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. So
He's
what's
got a
going
lot to say. Trust me.
Oh,
Mhm.
does he have a lot to say? Him and Maxine Waters. I'm telling you, y'all need to look at the news. Maxine is all over this. So y'all about to get whipped into place with that young lady. But anyway.
Oh, yeah.
So what's going on in our neighborhood, in our community,
Some
guys? And I
community
just want to
things
shout out
happening.
to our viewers.
Yeah.
And I just want to say hello and good morning. And please share. I don't see them in the community, but hello. I know it's a busy Saturday, but please share this episode, because right now we're going to have a lot of our sisters that are going to be on here that was with us at the PNC, and they're going to well inform you and share the education that they received for so many I call them name brands. Okay, name brand people. And just people in general that just gave us a wealth of information. But meanwhile, I think we do have something that we're sharing that's one or two things that's going on in the community. Is that right, Dante?
Yeah, we have some things going on. Something you're doing, right, Charlene?
Yeah, something I'm doing.
Yes.
So tomorrow, so I'm going to talk about that. So we shifted up a little bit. We're going to do a virtual dinner party tomorrow. I don't want to call it a virtual party, but we're just going to have a gathering of minds. So you are all welcome. And we are with Sisters Network, so partner with them, so you can donate. You can come in free, but we'll send you the Zoom link, and basically come and spend some time with us from 5 to 6:30 on tomorrow. And what we're doing is we're just resetting our goals, and we're rethinking what we need to happen to win during the third quarter. And we will have our experts in there. We will have planning. You're going to have fun. Resources are going to be provided, and you're going to walk away with a plan. Okay, so let's just take out some time for tomorrow, because we're launching into August, which is part of our third quarter. Let's just reset and think about how we as women, and if you're a man, we're not discriminating, come along with us from 5 to 6:30. We got a lot of good things that's happening within our organization for Sisters Network, and then a lot of good things that's happening within your own organization, your own business, your own career. But can we slow down tomorrow just for a little bit, have dinner with us, and enjoy our company while we sit down and really plan out our third quarter as we win. And not only think about just winning, but winning for, our next president. But anyway, so that's that. So what else got going on?
Can we get I don't know what else we have, but if we could get our ladies in some of our panel and
Yeah.
begin
When we bring them in,
great.
Wonderful.
Yeah, I think that'd be great.
I think we have Reverend Jamila in the back, and we have
Yeah, Jamila, she's there. She is. All right.
There
What
she
about
is.
Sharon Bullock? We need to bring Sharon in,
yeah, we have a
and
hello,
also
Reverend
let's bring Janet in as
Jamila.
well.
Hey,
Yay!
Sharon.
All
Hi
right.
there.
And the crowd is going wild. Like, what's going on? Well, we're happy that these young ladies are here because this past week, we were at the PNC conference, which we call now an experience and expo. And we wanted to share with you what we had going on there. And we have witnesses. So I know you think me and Peggy and Linda, why don't we just be bragging about certain things? But we have proof. We're not crazy. Like the world does need us to relate, right? And so
And
this
we
is
have a
why,
bunch of sisters, bottom line.
right. We have a
You
bunch
know
of
what? Let me
sisters
bring
that
in
were
another
proof.
sister in as
Uh-oh.
well,
One
since she's
more?
sitting in the green room. Okay. I
Okay.
think we have enough space for her. There we go.
Okay,
There's
perfect.
Lisa.
Okay.
Hey, Lisa.
We are weaponizing ourselves. Like, listen, we got the power, and we're going to start off by talking to the Reverend Delegate Jamila Woods. Again, guys, the Power Networking Conference is one of the largest African American conferences in the world. Like Forbes even rated them that. Okay, Essence Magazine. It's like, listen, this is the best, and if you're going to be anywhere in the world, you need to be with the Dr. Frazier and a bunch of his colleagues that are giving us information to empower our community, whether that's in technology, medical, political, you name it. The information was in the room. And
Yes.
again, I'll give you more names, but I don't want to tell all the story by myself. I got proof. I brought proof. So Dr. Jamila Woods, the Reverend Delegate Jamila Woods, our representative right here in the state of Maryland. She was there with us. So you want to tell them your insight for what you walked away with and how you're just going to move forward and continue to move Maryland in that right direction and in your life. So welcome.
Thank you. Thank you. Good afternoon, my beautiful sisters. It was a tremendous blessing. I just really have to reiterate special thanks to Peggy for just kind of staying on me about coming to Power Networking. I hadn't been for several years, and I'm gonna tell you, I didn't realize how much I needed this experience. And I want to start off the bat by saying I didn't just need the experience because of the wealth, and I do mean there was a wealth of information shared, a wealth of knowledge obtained, but I also needed it because I needed that sisterhood camaraderie. I didn't realize how much I missed just being with my sisters from Sisters for Sisters Network. And so that was so powerful for me. That was as powerful for me as the Power Networking Conference. As it relates to the conference in particular, I was extremely pleased with the way that the conference was set up. I love the fact that they include young people. I love the fact that an adult registration automatically gets a youth registration in free of charge. I love the way that they are very diverse in trying to make sure that we are in the position to be entrepreneurs, to have sustainable businesses, companies, finances, support systems. And to me, that's what Power Networking Conference was all about. It was about meeting people who weren't afraid to tell you, listen, there was a time when I got it all wrong. So I'm not just going to tell you about doing it all right. I'm going to tell you about doing it all wrong so that you don't make the same mistakes that I make. They also used real life experiences where they had little snippets throughout the conference where you had real life experiences of people who were trying to, parents who were trying to get their children to move in the direction of becoming entrepreneurs. And then you had the perspective of the child who, of course, all of our perspective is our reality. That don't mean it's the reality, right? And it was so good to have people that could get an overall holistic viewpoint. They talked about everything from health to wealth to education to everything that this Sisters for Sisters network stands for. And so that was so important to me. They promoted businesses. They gave you opportunities to meet with people personally who were willing to just work with you. They talked about the fact that if there is no investment, there is no return. And so it just, I mean, there was so much information, so powerful. I enjoyed it. I loved supporting some of the organizations. I love, they had a whole room set up with vendors that some of my sisters and I went in and we talked to the vendors, and they even agreed to come and speak at some of our events. And we had this Power Networking Conference. The thing that makes this to me so effective is, and you all helped me, but this is the word that comes to my mind. It was intimate. There were intimate relationships. You felt like you were in integral, close, authentic, intimate relationships. Like you could ask real questions and you didn't have to feel offended that your question might have been in your mind a dumb question. Y'all understand what I'm saying?
Yes,
that's right.
Family. And that's what was so powerful to me. I look forward to going back. I think it's Atlanta next year.
Yes.
I look forward to being with you all. Again, thank you, Peggy. Thank you, Sharon. Thank you, all of y'all. Charlene, oh my God, that I just got to hang out with y'all. And it was, I have to reiterate that being with you all was important as the information that I received. And so I am so glad Peggy stayed on me. And I said, you know what? I'm going to do this. And you know what? It was well worth it. And I'll do it over and over and over again. Thank you so much. And I apologize. I have a presentation to make all the way.
Go right ahead.
At 1 o'clock.
Thank you so much for being here.
I appreciate you dearly. I love you and look forward to seeing you and talking to you and collaborating further. My Sisters for Sisters Network Incorporated.
Yes. Listen. So thank you. She was just talking about this. We got to meet the guy who wrote this book right here, Black History. Guys, you need this book. Okay, you need this book. This was written by Dr. Walter Milton Jr. His company was there. It has tons of information and documentation about our Black history. And got that book. And me and her was like on it. And we're trying to bring him here to Maryland. So anyway, on to the next person. And all right, so Sharon was there, Janice is there, Lyris is there, Lisa was there. We got Judith Clark. She's online. So please share. Judith, if you want to come on, please ask for the link and we'll bring you on as well. Lisa was there. She brought her daughter. I brought my son. And when I tell you, I want to cry because it is everything I prayed about. When my son turns 18, I want to continue to surround him with a group of strong Black men. And boy, was I able to do that. So I'm going to go on to speak to Sharon.
Oh, look who we have.
Yes, Dr. Frazier is in the house.
Man of the hour.
Bring him on in.
Yeah, most definitely. So Sharon, we're going to get one more viewpoint. I'm going to do Sharon and Lisa. I think I'm going to do Lisa because Lisa has never attended this conference. So I want to hear her perspective. The rest of us have, okay? So let's go with Lisa Leonard and talk to her about her yeah.
Sure thing. Listen, I am glad to be here. Thanks, Peggy, for the invite. I'm going to speak with the risk or at the risk of crying at the same time. My God. So the PNC or PNE was amazing for me in two veins. The first, obviously, as a businesswoman, being able to be present and sit at the feet of people who are doing amazing things. That was great for me. The second vein, well, it's three veins. The second vein is that someone mentioned about just, the community or things just being a mess or in the world. We always talk about what our community is not doing. And being in that room showed me what our community is doing. Mm-hmm. And so that for me was, it allowed my cup to replenish. It allowed me to fill up a bit more so I can go back out into the community and do the work that we do. But the most important vein, and I run the risk of crying, is watching my child be excited about who she is, be excited about her community, be excited about learning, be intrigued about every presenter that came to the stage. Bianca leaned in with every presenter that came to the stage. The other thing about this is that she wants to be a psychiatrist. And for some reason, the universe, not for some reason, but the universe perfectly aligns you in the space and places that you're supposed to be in. Everywhere Bianca looked, she was talking to a psychiatrist, a psychologist, a therapist. They were introducing themselves to her. And she said, Mommy, she looked at me and she said, Mommy, I can do this. I can do this. And I said, well, yes, you can, right? So I'm still in the clouds, so to speak. I took this week to kind of try to find my footing, and I still am floating from the experience. I'm floating from all that I've learned. I'm floating from just the idea that now she's thinking about even the world of psychiatry, but from an entrepreneurship mindset. And she said, I wasn't thinking about it from that perspective, Mom. And I said, well, here you are. Now you can kind of think about how you can impact our community, impact the world from a different lens. So young people being in the space, because my heart is for the young people being in the space literally just lit me a fire. And I'm excited about next year. I'm already got myself aligned for Atlanta because I'm going to be there come hell or high water. I will be in the house, learn, earn, return with 5 people. So I'm present.
Yay.
Lisa, just a quick question before we move on. How old is your daughter?
She is 21. She's a junior in college. Okay. And so they need to be present. They need to be present. But more importantly, if you're worried about whether or not they'll like it, well, will they be interested? Will I have to pull their leg? The answer to all 3 of those questions are no, no, and no. They're going to lean in. They're going to find their space, and they're going to be excited about the experience. So,
well, thank you, Mom, for leading the way and showing the example.
Not a problem.
We salute you as a mom, because it takes a great parent, a mother, who believes in their child and taking them out to these experiences. They have to broaden their horizons, because if they don't, they won't learn. And who knows, she may not need you next year to take her, because she's gonna say, Mom, I'm gonna want to without you.
that part right there. You're absolutely right.
Yeah, you're instilling some good principles in her, and that's a wonderful thing.
Yes.
Thank you.
Thank you, Dr. Frazier.
Lisa, stay on for a second.
Okay.
Dr. Frazier, this is Lisa, who presented the video clip. Can Dante play that for us?
Yes.
Oh, yes.
Okay, he's setting it up, so give him a few minutes.
Lisa, that video clip was awesome.
It was awesome.
Awesome.
I'm glad you enjoyed it, but it's because of you. I just wanted to capture snippets of the event so that people could be excited about it.
Here we come.
Yay! Yes, that was awesome. That's the spirit. That is the spirit.
So much. Appreciate
Not a problem. Not a problem at all.
Thank you.
So much is going on.
Let's bring in that youth.
We got something else?
Yeah, I believe we do.
Yeah, we do.
We're going to show that one. I think will be before Dr. Frazier. I think our next video that we want to show.
All right. Thank you so much, Lisa.
Thank you so much for having me.
Awesome.
Enjoy your day. All right.
Bye-bye.
All right.
All righty. Well,
All right.
look.
Well, we got a couple more.
That's what happens when you bring the young people to the conference.
Yes.
You see that youth that just drives. That is awesome.
it definitely drives him. I have so much to share. My son will be finishing up his project management certification in a couple more weeks, and it really put the fire behind him because he's only 18, and I told him you're going to need it. And then I didn't even have to say it anymore because 5 other adults from the conference were saying, "Honey, you're going to need to go get that and finish that up." And as a result, in a couple of more weeks, he will be CM, project management certified at the ripe age of 18. So I'm really super excited for him. So so ladies, take about 60 seconds and share. Janice, Sharon, Lyris, 60 seconds so we can get right with our other people.
I know y'all excited. Don't jump in all at once.
Let's give us our 60-second commercial on why others should attend the PNC, what you walked away and why they should be attending next year at the PNC experience.
Who's
all right, let's go.
All right. I'll hop in because I was probably the first one on the sound check. I just want to say that's how exciting this was. I mean, I've been involved with the Power Networking Conference since the very first year in Cleveland, Ohio. And it never fails to excite me, to inspire me. Dr. George C. Fraser has been a friend of mine for close to 50 years. And it amazes me that he continues to find thought-provoking, inspiring, wealth-generating business people to come and share their life experiences, their wealth of information with those of us that come to be inspired. And it never ceases to amaze. And I just thank God for the Sisters for Sisters Network, who I joined their organization many years ago. But as the founder of the Generational Wealth Alliance, it fits so much in line with what we are doing as an organization. So kudos to you, Peggy, for all that you do with the Sisters for Sisters Network, Inc. And George, I cannot thank you enough for all that you do. That's my 60 seconds.
All right.
Thank you, Janice.
Thank you.
There is our Dr. Sharon.
Come on in, Sharon.
Of course, all has been said, but not enough said about what it has done for Sisters Network, because guess what? We would not exist without the Power Networking Conference. Of course, we were there from day one. We came there with a mission because we felt like we wanted to be somebody and come there as somebody. And we decided, and Peggy's brainchild, 4SistersLIVE Network. That's where it was born. That's where it flourished. That's where we started our own businesses. That is what we have to really credit for our existence. So just think about it, guys. If it wasn't for the PNC, Sisters for Sisters Network may not have ever started, because that's where we all connected. Even Peggy and I connected for the first time. And Peggy said she knew me from Morgan, but we never connected. So this is where we all connected, and this is where we began. So we have you, George Fraser, to thank for us becoming who we are, because if it wasn't for that conference, we would not exist.
That's awesome. Sharon, you said it so well. You said it so well.
That is beautiful. That is beautiful. Guys, look what you can become. So you can become a Sisters for Sisters Network, just like Peggy, all of us. Yeah. From
Sharon, can you just, I didn't want to step, but I just wanted to ask you, what is one thing you could just say that really stood out for you? I mean, I know it's a lot, but one particular thing that you can say and share that stood out to you.
For this one, this one was actually a different vibe. I loved how the stage of all of the presenters, it was so much, oh my gosh, energy in the room. And just wherever you wanted to take your business or even to step up into the executive world, whatever it is you want to do, someone was there to help you and inspire you to achieve your goals. So it was all about really becoming and excelling in what you do. And those were the things that, and it's always the same thing that I take away from each conference. But like someone said earlier, you always still get that new nugget or nuggets from each one you attend, and you just want more. You just keep coming back for more. And I just can't say enough, because I have never, ever attended a bad conference. It has always been amazing. It's always been amazing. So
thank you, Sharon.
Good job, Sharon. Yes, yes, yes.
All right.
Come on, Laris.
Hi, George. Thank you for this conference. It's Laris. It's everywhere. You know, this is my 6th year. I believe it's my 6th conference that I've gone to. And at the end of the conference, I always purchase the registration for the next year. Just rush to get it. And somewhere around the year, I'm like, am I really going to go this year? But I get there and I'm like, oh yeah, because it's just always amazing in terms of just seeing I go because it's the best networking I'm going to find all year round.
Beautiful.
This is where I'm going to find the clients that will pay at the price point I need to be paid at. This is where I get inspired. This is where I see where I can go so far down. These guys are so far down the road of, it's not just, oh, I can do this in a year, but it's like, okay, this is what the long journey looks like. This is what it looks like when I get there, because they are already there. And I spoke to a coach and I said, I want to talk to someone who's been doing what I want to do. So you can find that there. I made partnerships. I met Pam Perry at the Power Networking Conference years ago. And then last year created a relationship where we work and pitch together. I went this year and I ended up in the Harris's session, the Harris House. And I went because they showed that they had about 12 different businesses. And I was like, in my overwhelmed state, how do you manage? I'm overwhelmed with one. How do you manage 12?
Yes.
That's the question I went in with. I got there, they handed me a packet on how to create business partnerships. And I was like, I didn't ask for this. But someone had said to me a month prior, have you ever thought about bringing on a partner? And I was like, no, I can barely manage my employees. What would I do with it? But I'm just saying, you never know what God is leading up to.
Yeah, definitely.
And so I walked in and here's how to create a partnership package. And I said, well, let me sit with this. And I just came from an event last night, and this woman is saying, I just have a business that does, because I don't know anybody else is doing what I do. And I say, I've been doing what you do, little young lady. And so she said, I need some help. And I'm like, is this the partner? God is just doing, and you just go. George has a lot of networking. George, I would say, take this tip that I use every time I leave the house. I pray, Lord, lead me to the person that I need to meet.
There you go.
That's awesome. That is great.
Love that.
Somebody who didn't have a lot to say earlier, you got a lot to say. So what am I going to talk about? I don't know what to say. I don't know where I'm going to say that. You just the whole thing, girl.
You can't.
George, you see what you do to us?
Yeah, George, you just doing so much to enlighten our women. We're so excited.
The impact that you have on us is amazing.
Definitely.
Impact of the conference in terms of, I tell people, and I have been, because I saw someone yesterday and she was like, I just came to the power. She said, you told me about that last year. I'm like, yes. I tell people as I go, that's where you need to be, at the Power Networking Conference.
All right.
That's where you're going to meet
the people
who you're going to be. How about that?
Linda, what about you? What was your experience, Linda?
Oh, I went to the AI class. No, I'm not technical at all.
Yes, she is. Don't believe her.
I'm not, but I go because I want to learn. And eventually it clicks. Like the connection. And I really enjoyed the AI, the just learning about how it's created and how it influences us every single day and what we see, because some things that you see, they're not really real, but they're real. So it's amazing. This young lady, I can't remember her name right now, but who showed us how you can create your website, how to use AI to do that. So yes, I got a lot from it, but that sticks out in my mind about the AI, because that's where we're going. That's where everyone is going, and we need to be exposed to it. So if you don't do anything else, get exposed.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Wow. Let's rock and roll, guys. Well, Peggy, we'll let Peggy tell what she got out of, because I already told you everything was about my son. So I'm good. Peggy, what is the things that you took away from this? And then we'll let you go on and bring George. Unmute.
Yeah.
Unmute. Mm-hmm.
The beautiful thing about it is the connection. Lisa said it so well. The support system that was built in that room was amazing. And I push very hard every year to get my sisters. So I have to push really, really hard, really, really hard.
She
but
did.
this year was easy. And I'm just so glad. I think we had a representation about 18, 19 of us.
We did.
And I thought that was awesome. So each one of us bring 5. You can imagine what the number's going to look like next year.
Yes.
Don't we have a presentation, Dante, that we want to show? Because hear from Dr. To get his.
Right, because we want the audience to know that Dr. Frazier, there's a museum that's going to be named in his honor, and it's going to represent our community of entrepreneurs, business people, but our own Walk of Fame museum. So let us show that, because I don't think people understand why the PNC was so significant this year, and
why you better be there next year.
And why you better, exactly.
Yeah, here we go.
Resulted in a lack of clarity of purpose, brothers and sisters, a lack of goal. Goals and destination.
Oh, we have a glitch.
Uh-oh.
We have a glitch.
Something's going on.
A lack of criticism, but the constructive flavor in our community, a lack of passion and anger, a lack of collective output and multiple leadership. That's what it has resulted in.
For over 250 years, we focused on our fight for freedom, and spent the next 100 years fighting Jim Crow and for the promise of justice, equity, and inclusion. Now, it is time to inject Dr. King's final message of economic empowerment into our narrative. For the next 100 years, we must focus on economics to mitigate the enormous black and white wealth gap and the effects of economic apartheid.
Schooling.
I want us to stop here for a second because of the essence of time, and we want to try to get this together. But Dr. Frazier, can you definitely give us your perspective on where this video, how it was developed, and the reason it was produced in the way you see it, or where we're looking to how it was produced?
Thank you so much. And the incredible comments really tear me up, to be candid with you. And I know that men shouldn't cry, but when you hear the voices of such beautiful, brilliant, loving sisters speaking their heart, it's very emotional to me, because this is, my baby, let's put it that way. We cry over our children as they grow, and sometimes they grow and move away. but Sisters for Sisters has grown and stayed, and into adulthood, and maybe even senior citizenship. Who knows, right? That's how incredible the bond is between you sisters, and it's just extraordinarily moving to me to see that year after year after year, and to compliment Peggy for taking Willie Jolly's advice and going to this power networking conference,
Yes.
Cleveland, Ohio. And so, thank you for this opportunity. I know you end about what, 1 o'clock? Is that what time you end?
Yes,
Yeah.
sir. Yes, sir.
All right. So let me get into my comments. It was Virginia Woolf, the great writer, who said, "You cannot find peace by avoiding life." Okay. So welcome to our life, right? And participating in this life and in this culture. It's just impossible not to be better, and not to affect those people around you. It's really very sticky what we're doing, because we've persisted, as you've persisted with Sisters for Sisters Network. Certainly, the conference has persisted. There's an old saying that ambition is the road to success, but persistence is the vehicle in which you arrive in. So we persisted, you persisted. And so now we will celebrate our 24th year in Atlanta, Georgia. We're excited about that. After the first 3 years of PNC, we moved to Atlanta with a 3-year commitment, and we ended up staying 6. Now, we changed the name, as I heard this mentioned, from the Power Networking Conference to the Power Networking Experience. Why? But generally speaking, at a conference, you are a spectator. At an experience, you are a participant. And ours has always been a participatory kind. You just don't sit and listen, but you get engaged. It's hand-to-hand combat. It's coaching, it's mentoring, it's all those things that encourage us to participate in the activities that are going on. And that is basically the culture of the conference, from the opening to the ending to the song we sing together at the Wakanda party each year. So it's special. It is also the first conference, and I hope that other conferences will adopt this policy, that an adult registrant can bring a young person 17 to 25 at no charge, because our children need to be sitting at the feet of masters and experiencing these things. Can you imagine? I'm close to 80. Could you imagine if all of us had something like this when we were 15, 17 years old?
So true. So true.
How that would have infected
Yes.
our lives. So we're giving them a jump start on their life. And I think the whole idea of a student being at no charge will spread like wildfire over time and bridge the gap between the elders and our young people and have those conversations. We did something brand new at the conference, other than the incredible program that Delano put together. It was an incredible program. It was beautifully executed by Alexandria Johnson Boone and her team, as she's been doing for every year that we've had it. And it flowed differently. But I don't know if you noticed, we added a category that we have never really talked about. There are 3 fundamental categories that we have been talking about for 23 years. And that is, of course, building and managing wealth properly, building and scaling businesses properly, and the power of the human connection. Those have been the 3 core subjects. This year, for the first time, you witnessed, we added the family piece. and
Yeah.
to heal the wounds between Black men and Black women, and to help facilitate partnerships, situationships, and fundamentally the concept of marriage in our culture, which is in an existential crisis, right? We went from 85% when I was a kid uh, to 34%. And all the projections, facts, and statistics say if we don't fix this core family idea, that we will be in the low teens within the next 20 years. So that is something that we have to avoid, because there's no culture in the history of humankind that has maximized their full human potential without family at the center of that culture, however you may want to describe it as family. But we know that family is both male and female input into the raising of our children, both male energy and female energy, because the male for a daughter or a son becomes the model of what a real man is like, and the mom, the woman, becomes a model for the children of what a real woman, a real wife is to be like. So this is very, very important. So that was a new piece.
Yeah.
It will continue. As you noticed, we had Black men talking, we had Black women talking, we had couples talking. So I think that's the glue that bonds and the building of family that bonds and grows our people. Now, the Hall of Fame video, which we started watching, it's an idea that I had about 20 years ago, but the time wasn't right for it, because we would be competing at that time with the National African American Museum on the wall, and so it was either people choosing that or choosing the national, and there was no contest. So the Black Business Legacy Hall of Fame and Museum is to recognize the enormous contribution that Black people have made to capitalism and to business in this country, to inventions in business, and the amount of equity and the amount of capital that we have invested in spite of how we came over here. That is not recognized in the 110 Black History museums around the world. Even if you go to the National Museum, there might be something on Madam C.J. Walker or maybe Booker T. Washington.
Yeah.
The breadth and depth of our contribution to business and business development, it is not recognized in those museums. That needs to be recognized.
Right.
And once it becomes a museum or a Hall of Fame, it gives our young people an aspirational goal, something other than when you ask them something other than the baseball, football, basketball Hall of Fame, right? I don't believe, or Grammy Award or an Academy Award, I really don't believe that Black people were put here to entertain white people. Okay, so we are good at entertainment, no question about that. We're the most great people on the planet, but we can do more than that, and that becomes an aspirational goal for young brothers and sisters to aspire to starting and building businesses, which is really what we need. And by hopefully the end of the 21st century, we will become the number one employer of our own people. As Jews are the number one employer of Jews, Asians the number one employer of Asians, East Indians the number one employer of East Indians, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. So that is the meta view of that. We've gotten a very, very, very large grant from Microsoft that will be added
That is
to that.
wonderful.
So things are moving. Now, these things, let me say it a different way. If you have a large vision, it's best to start slow.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Good wisdom. Wow.
Right?
Yes.
Yeah.
You could twist that any way you want.
Well, we've been crawling for the past 24 years, okay?
That's right. But anyway, and so as we close out, you got 3 minutes left. I'm just going to give you my favorite moments. Yes, we will. By the way, we will be the next year. We're working on that now, and the focus will be on leadership. We'll get a theme and a title around that. But we're very, very excited about my favorite moments. Singular, particular talk or panel discussion or power talk. My favorite moment was Rohan Marley. I just loved his spirit. I loved his transparency. I loved his energy. I loved the way he has taken the succession of his father's name and built $100 million coffee business, right? And I just loved how he comported himself. So that was one of my favorite moments. The RIG panel with Dr. Roberts, a panel discussion on all things technology was one of my favorite moments. And the Black men talk and the Black women talk was one of my favorite things to do. It was fresh, it was new, it was needed. Probably next year we'll probably have a Black male and female discussion together. So those are my personal highlights, and then doing it in Charlotte was a risk. It actually did not turn out as well as we had hoped it would. But because the retro migration of Black people to the South is now larger in terms of moving to Charlotte than it used to be to Atlanta. So Charlotte is the next Atlanta. But Atlanta is the bomb.com. It is the center of Black entrepreneurship in America. And so that's where we will be headed. The conference will be significantly larger. It won't be convention center. We really swore off convention centers after the first 3 years of 8, 9, 10,000 people. So it's difficult to do the kind of work with 10,000 people that you can do with 1,000 or less, right? It's up close and personal. So it was just and you contributed to it as you have done since the first day. Both Dr. Sharon and Peggy attended, and we'll just continue to grow together. And then we're going through succession planning ourselves. As you see, we have a new leader. That also will take time, but you learn by doing. You grow by doing. You can read all the damn books you want until you get down executing and see the complexity and the need to have masterful skills. Because at the end of the day, as I've been teaching our president, I lead leaders. Okay, that's another thing altogether. The people that come to our conference are leaders in their own space and in their own niche and in their own right. So being a good leader is critical. A good manager also is critical, but leadership is what our people are looking for and what they need. So that's my story. I'm sticking to it. I know we went 1 minute over time, but if you have any questions,
Well, Doctor, I have a question quickly. When is the date scheduled and set for in Atlanta next year?
Okay, good question. We're going to go back to how we started the conference. We're going back to a June date. Right? It will be mid-June. It'll be ahead. It'll be right after school lets out. It'll be ahead of all the other major Black conferences that are in July and August.
Yes.
This
Excellent.
month, there were 5 major Black conferences. There was the NAACP, the Urban League, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. Just a lot of decisions and a lot of competition. So we want to separate ourselves from that. And so it will be a mid-June date.
Great.
That's awesome. Charlene, I think this is so great because we wanted to dive into a little bit, Doctor, to have your input about voting. We have to put this up.
You have to say something about that. Yeah,
we're going to definitely go into a next show next week. But ladies and gentlemen, please vote. I think by this time next year, we will know who our president will be, one way or the other.
But we can't assume that Biden will be our next president. You got to get out there and vote, and you got to know what the Project 2025 is, because if you knew the significance of that, means reading, right? They don't believe that you will read, so that's why they put it in print. All right, but Project 2025 is significant and who you should be voting for president. So do your homework, and Dr. Frazier can elaborate on that a whole lot more than what I can right now. But let's vote, guys. Let's sincerely vote.
Let's
And
take 5 minutes, Charlene.
5 minutes. I think we should.
At
Yeah.
least share.
Yeah.
Please.
We quite frankly, and I'm so glad that Charlene that you brought that up, because right now we're in a 5-alarm fire. Okay.
Yeah.
The Democratic Party is still trying to make its decision on who should be the person. If it's not the President Biden, who I think should be, he's the only human being on earth that has ever beat him in an election. I know he has his challenges, make no mistake about that.
Yeah.
Those of us that are around his age certainly understand the mental acuity and cognition that is necessary for the most difficult job in the entire world, which is President of the United States. If he decides to drop out, which he'll make that decision, Kamala, I believe, will replace him. Is America ready for a black woman
Right.
president?
That part, as they say.
I think so. I think so. And the machine is in place because that's the organic responsibility of a vice president.
Exactly.
For any reason the president is not able to do his job, then the vice president replaces. That's constitutional. That's really the way it works. So the 5-alarm fire is not only the undecidedness of the Democratic Party on this at this moment, could change tomorrow, but about 17% of Black people today, according to the most recent studies and polls, will be voting for Donald Trump. That's the highest percentage ever since he's been on the ballot anywhere. Personally, I don't know what a Black person would see in this man. He is amoral. He is without morals. He is a malignant narcissist, a proven liar, right? And he talks about God. I mean, the guy has never ever opened a Bible. In fact, when he took the picture of him with the Bible was upside down.
Upside down.
Right. I don't know what the hook is for Black folks. I don't see it, but it's the largest percentage of Blacks who 17%. That could be a deal breaker for a Democratic candidate. We were fundamentally responsible for getting Biden not reelected, but elected the first time. And he will need every vote that he can get. Of course, I don't know if you looked in on the Republican convention and all the conversation has shifted from the terrible job that Biden did during the debate to the very terrible job, his placement of his comments that he did at the Republican convention, when he had really very, very easy. And I mean, that was, a spectacular. They spent $250 million on that whole show. So, and he blew it. So we'll see. Vote,
people.
Oh,
Yeah. We will be talking about this from now until on this platform. How important it is, how significant it is, how much it is almost a life and death situation. At this Project 2025, we had just some quick lineup as to what that means. So Charlene, we can just show that briefly.
Oh yeah.
Briefly, just to get our eyes on it.
Yeah.
And snap it, ladies and
gentlemen. I have before you conclude, I have a wonderful announcement that I think you'll love. And I'm saving it for the end, but let's finish up with the business, and then I'll make this announcement.
Okay, cool. Dante,
not public yet.
No problem. Dante, pull up that. This is a snapshot of Project 2025, and someone has actually shown the page numbers of where you can find certain things. There you are. This is Project 2025. Some have called it the Presidential Transition Project. One thing that I want to point out to you is the cut of Social Security, which will be on page 691. For those of you that like to read and follow, ban African American and gender studies in all levels of education. That's on page 319. Okay, it's a couple more things. So if you're not familiar with this, those are some similar things that we as a people should be concerned about. I travel a lot, banning Muslims from entering the country. I'm a Christian, right? I just would not want them to ban me because I'm a Christian entering their country. So we got to think about those things. This is totally racism, and this is not the plan that America wishes to proceed with. So just wanted to share that. Snap a picture of this, and we'll get back to that later. All right. Now I'm going to turn this back over to Dr. Frazier because he has some last minute comments before we end this segment of our education. Dr. Frazier.
Sure. Strategically, we will be doing some preparation for next year differently, and that is that we have selected 4 cities to do a full day sort of mini power networking a day, right? To cultivate and to build relationships. And we've selected those 4 cities, and I can say to you, and I'm proud to announce to you, that of course, the DMV, Prince George's County, will be one of those cities. That will be Delano and I and another couple of local speakers, and it'll be a whole program of education, the stuff that we talk about. So Charlotte is in it, but DMV, Prince George's County, is slated to. It'll be about every 3 months. We'll do 4 of them, leading up to the mid-June date. We've never really done that, but we're really copying the eWomen's Network strategy for building attendance and spreading the news beyond just showing up one time a year, right? And we'll say we'll see you next year. So this is another way to continue to cultivate and to continue to bring new citizens to Fraser Nation. Yeah.
All right.
Right.
Wonderful. Thank you, George.
I am super excited about that. This is what family looks like. And I do want to say this, that if you've never been to a PNC conference, it is about family. I felt like it was the Black family reunion in a sense. And my most favorite, again, was Lean on Me. That is our ending song. It was our Wakanda party. And we got the dance with Dr. Frazier. So guys,
I heard about you and Dr. George were dancing together.
On the dance floor.
You dragged me on the dance floor.
On the dance floor.
But you can't stay out there, Dragon.
Taking advantage of an old man.
Wonderful. We had a wonderful time.
Can I say one thing
Yes.
as we close out, guys? Congresswoman Sheila Lee.
Right.
I thank you, Dr. Frazier, because it was you who introduced us to her last year at the Power Networking Conference.
Wow.
And how amazing that time was. I want to thank you once again.
Yeah, it's important, man, because we don't know where God has people going here or there, or if they'll be there next year. And that's a prime example. Thank you for having such wonderful leaders that can show us the way, and we can continue the legacy going, even as we as sisters.
And I have to apologize. I know you saw that we had Hakeem Jeffries on our menu.
Yeah, we did.
Right.
Yes.
But all things considered, the Democratic disarray, the Biden decision, he is one of the leaders and one of the spokespersons for the Democratic side of the House. And so he just could not get.
We understand.
We understand.
We understand.
Understandable.
Very much so. Well, we've had a great time. We know we went over a little bit, but it's all good because it's for the purpose and the good of what we need to talk about. And it's so wonderful that we can have our very own Dr. George Frazier. Charlene, this is so awesome, girl.
Absolutely.
One more person. Natasha, speak up. Share with us your experience at PNC.
Give us one or two words that you can tell us, Dr. Nat, that inspired you at the PNC experience.
You're muted.
You're muted.
Can you hear us?
Natasha,
Natasha, can you hear us?
5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Well, she'll come back in. Let's get her in next week. It has been a great time. We already know what time it is. What time is it, y'all?
It is time for you to walk in your purpose and prosperity.
Love y'all for watching. We out. Have a great day.